All right, so hey Pat, thank you so much for not following up. We've got 20 years of books on this one. Okay. No, but I wanted to move on and ask you what's happening in Virginia. Something's happening in Virginia because the right track, wrong track in America is at record lows. Your right track, wrong track for the state of Virginia among Virginian residents. Over 50%. 52% say Virginia is going in the right direction, 31% in the wrong, and your approval rating 62%, disapproval 26%. Those are, we're not doing this to kiss up to you. I guarantee you that.
Oh, go ahead, please.
If they were upside down, we would be skewering you. Yeah. These, though, are just numbers you do not see across the country right now. What's going on in Virginia?
I think it's just common sense. I mean, we're trying to solve problems, cut down on the rhetoric, bringing people together in both parties to solve problems.
But that doesn't. That's a pat answer to the question. That doesn't give you a 62% approval rating. And again, the right track, wrong track, 52% right track, 31% wrong track. Is the economy that much better in Virginia?
We're coming out of the global economic downturn, I think, better than most states, Joe. And it's because we made some really tough decisions last year. We cut and amended our budget to the tune of about $4 billion. Tough choices. The people weren't that happy last year, I can tell you. But this year now we've got a surplus. We're going to have another surplus later this year. And we've started to invest in higher education, transportation, infrastructure, and things that people care about. And I focused on jobs. Unemployment is down to 6.3%.
Bob's for jobs.
6.3%. We're about 2.5 points below the national average. And that's been the focus. Is
what was it when you went into office?
7.4. So it's down about a point, Mika. And that really has been the focus. That's why went to China, Japan, Korea, went to Europe last year. We'll go to India and Israel later this year, open a trade office in India. And we're just focusing on economic development.
It's amazing.
People appreciate it.
It's amazing how things have changed. We always talk about, whether we talk about, because it's something that I know, German protests outside of BMW plants in Germany because Bob Riley brought Mercedes C-Class to Alabama. We're actually seeing now where, Pat, going to your point, where governors are acting as presidents used to and are aggressively going after these new jobs. And it's just not a coincidence that the jobs go to states that are business friendly.
That are business friendly and that have a great story to tell. And in the case of Virginia, you have world-class ports. It's adjacent to the world's capital, Washington, D.C. It has a great university system with leading R&D going on in that university system. And it has a very talented workforce. And the governor was very effective in conveying that message in China. But that's the competition right now. Each state is trying to identify their sweet spot and places where there is a natural kind of synchronicity between Chinese business interests.
Pat, you're going to smile and be positive. Be positive.
Now, Pat, it's my brother.
Seriously. I'm a Virginian. It's a great state.
Okay.
Under Democrats and Republicans, it's really run well. But you say the states are competing with each other to get into China, get China trade. Why is the government of the United States not representing all of America in negotiations with China? This is appalling. You've had 10 years of the greatest trade deficits between any two countries in history, United States with China. Most of China's growth, that 9–10% growth, comes from what? Exports.
But, you know, Pat, even if you read the joint communique between the Obama White House and Hu Jintao at the time of the visit in January, well, it was a very... I would urge you to read it because it's a very substantive 30-point plus communique, which focuses on business development and growth. It's about the overlay between the business context and the strategic context. So the government is doing that, but the states will too.
Governor, we were caught sleeping, weren't we? This country was caught sleeping a decade ago, 15 years ago, and now you're getting aggressive. Other governors are getting aggressive. Can we turn the tide?
Absolutely. And Mark mentioned the formula. Some of the things we've done in Virginia, some of the other right-to-work states in the southeast part of the United States are now job magnets. And, you know, China's figured that out. Now, they're not free market. They're flirting with it. They're a mercantile society, and they've got all kinds of problems with a one-party government rule. And the SED talks, Pat, I think that are being engaged at the very highest levels the last couple of weeks are going to start to break down some of those barriers. But I think we got to be in the game and exporting those values of both trade, commerce, and education to foreign countries will help export democracy, and I think will lead to a little better relations in the world.
And we'll put a smile on Pat Buchanan's face, I'm sure.
He's happy to be in Virginia.
He is.
It's a great state.
It is a great state. Okay, we'll leave it there, Mr. Sunshine.
We can agree on that.
All right.
Is he going to India with you, taking Mark?
I haven't invited him yet, but if he wants to come and help to broker international trade with India, I'd be glad to have him.
Anything to advance Virginia jobs.
Mark,
Okay.
Pat, you need to go along too, Pat.
Right over there in India, right.
Okay, Governor McDonnell, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much. Mark,
Thank
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Up next, a consumer alert for iPad and iPhone users.